Hi garden friends, I am here to share with you this week's activity. So you should be working on Science Kit number 18. This is our third week exploring water. And let me just take you through some of the steps. Before you get started, you'll want to collect some materials. So you'll need your science notebook, and you'll want a pencil with an eraser, and then something to color with, whether you like crayons or markers or colored pencils, whichever you prefer. And then also, if you would like to use the Flipgrid as a response, so that's where you can take a short video and answer questions verbally rather than having to write things down, that is an option, and there's a garden Flipgrid. The link is right here under your materials. And so you can go there and register with your school email so that you can do a short video to answer the questions that we include on our garden lesson. So your first step is going to be to update your KWL chart in your science notebook, or your garden notebook. If you'd like, I have a live on Wednesdays from 11:30 to 12 where we talk about the KWL, and you're welcome to come and join us there. And you can have your science notebook open and take notes during that time and participate in the group discussion. I would love to see you there. So then the next step is to think about, and these will be questions you can answer in the Flipgrid if you want to go over there. Think about water in our environment and who's using it. Do humans need the water? Why? And how do we use it? Do animals need the water? What other animals need the water? So you're just thinking about what you've observed in the area around school, around where you live. What animals do you see using water near where you live? And how do they use it? Are they drinking it? Are they taking a bath? Are they, I don't know, dipping their food in it to clean their food? That might just kind of be a human thing, right? I don't know if animals worry about cleanliness. But some animals, I think, use water as a habitat. So I wonder if you can think about which animals might live in the water. And I think some animals have babies in the water. So maybe you can think about which animals lay eggs in the water and what's happening. How's that all happening? I'd love to hear your ideas. I don't want to give you too much information because I want to hear what you think and who you think is using the water. And then after you've spent a few minutes, maybe 10 minutes, thinking about that and maybe drawing pictures or writing notes in your notebook, then you can go to the Flipgrid, share your ideas there if you'd like. After you do that, then I'd like you to take some time to go observe water outside. So you'll need an adult, and you'll need maybe to take your science notebook and a pencil so you can write down ideas or sketch, and walk around your area where you live. If you want to go on an extensive walk and look for a creek nearby, that's great. But it doesn't have to be, you're not necessarily looking for a lake, or you don't have to drive to the ocean. You're just looking for some water nearby, and you're going to spend at least 5 minutes watching that water. So remember, when we are observing in nature, we need to be quiet. I know that's hard sometimes, but you can do it. So you're going to sit quietly and you're going to observe. If it's just a puddle, if it's a creek, you're going to watch and see. You're going to use your eyes, but you're also going to use your ears, and you can use your nose, right? You can listen, you can smell, you can see if the water smells funny, or maybe there's plants nearby. Maybe see what they smell like. So use your senses. You probably don't want to taste anything, right? If it's easy to access the water, so if it's a puddle, you could also use your sense of touch and wonder if the water feels cold or if it feels warm. So use all your senses, almost all your senses, no tasting the water, to observe some water near where you live. Or like I said, if you do want to go on a big hike or a walk to a creek, that's fine too. But spend at least 5 minutes doing observation and see what, I'm sorry, I'm using see, but we've got it, right? We're going to use all our senses. What animals are visiting that water? Now, if it's a little puddle, it might just be an insect, right? They might be tiny, which is why you got to be quiet and you got to really pay attention and see what you can see. Now, if you don't actually see anybody visit the water, maybe you can hear someone nearby. And if you hear an animal nearby the water, they probably are visiting it when you're not there, right? Remember, animals kind of see humans as predators because we're a lot bigger than they are and they might not want to be anywhere near us. But if you hear, I know when I've been by the Cotati Creek recently, I have heard lots of birds and I've heard lots of frogs. So find out what you can hear. And again, take notes. You can use words. You can draw pictures, however you'd like. And then also, that'll be a second question in the Flipgrid, is to share your observations. So you can come and you can tell us on the Flipgrid about what did you see, what did you hear, if anything smelled, good or bad. Maybe you smelled some flowers. Maybe the grass was freshly mown nearby and you smelled the grass. Share your thoughts, okay? And then, let's see. So the observation is really the big part. My older students, 3rd through 5th graders, make sure any drawings that you do, you're adding labels. So think of your drawings as scientific drawings, and you're going to want to label. This looks like grass. This looks like, maybe you recognize some of the trees if you know it's an oak or you know it's a pine tree. You don't have to worry about getting super specific, right? Because sometimes it's hard to identify a bird, but you could be descriptive. Small brown bird, large black bird. Around here we've got a lot of crows, right? So that would be maybe a large black bird. But be sure and add as many labels as you can. And think of your drawing as being part of a scientific report. And then the next part of your activity is to check out some BrainPop videos. So hopefully you'll have those links. I think I messed up and didn't include the links last week. But there's some great BrainPop about habitat and ecosystems. So check those out. And then there's also a really fun song about habitat. So if you want to listen to that song and sing along, it's got the words on the screen. So that's this week's activity. We're observing water as a habitat. Thanks, garden friends.